All right, what's up, FDFF? I'm Darian.
I'm JC.
I'm Allie.
We got serious vibes entering this podcast so far.
Uh,
I don't know if they're good vibes, but they're vibes.
there was a sound issue, and producer Allie's concerta has worn off, so things are just a little bit rougher than usual for everybody. But
It's also just like three combined like ADD people being like, "What's that noise?" And then like us hyper fixating on it. We hopped on the call 15 minutes ago.
yep, haven't started because the sound made us all mad.
We were like, "We cannot do this."
Like, shut
So
my laptop down.
we all left, restarted, unplugged everything, went full boomer phase. Let's try and unplug reset. So here we are. Um, Also, apologies about last week. It's been a summer, I feel like, for all three of us. So
Hell yeah.
we've been
Yeah.
trying to, stay on top of it. But the gals have been busy, especially Allison.
Yeah, we got to give the biggest congratulations to producer Allie.
Woo!
Her engagement! Shows that ring, girl.
Congratulations!
Hell yeah, it's so
Check out
beautiful.
the YouTube for the ring.
Yeah. So
Tell us about it,
congrats.
Allie.
Give us the tea.
Oh my god. It was amazing. It was in the mountains. It was beautiful. It was so funny actually. One of your guys' friends messaged me after and was like, "You were literally manifesting this on the podcast the week before. Like I love this for you." And I was like, "Oh my god, so cute." Um yeah, it was beautiful, and Adam's sister's boyfriend had like a nice camera, so he like took really nice pictures, and Marion was there. I also got to see you the night before, Jay, but not
Yeah,
after that. But yeah, it
Yep.
was it was very busy week.
yeah,
Yeah.
jam packed. Were
Yeah.
you surprised? That's what I need to know. Like,
Mhm.
how? Tell me about like the actual engagement and what happened.
Yeah, so like I wasn't I kind of I knew it was going to happen that day, which
Yeah.
is like that's me. Like I don't think anyone could ever really surprise me with anything cuz I would that's just how I am.
So pissed.
Yeah, like I'm insane. So um but I was surprised with like when it happened. So we're driving to Kananaskis, and we were just like going to see like lookout spots, and then we stopped and it was raining, and we went to Wedge Pond, and we were just like waiting in the car, and it was raining, and I was like I kind of could feel like there was a bit of tension, like everyone's like, oh my god, like do we just go to the next spot, like, and I was like, okay, so something's happening. But then it stops raining, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go, and like it's kind of cloudy, so like then I was like, okay, it's not gonna happen at this spot. And then we got down to the water, and like the sun came out, and it just got like so beautiful. And Adam like asked to take a picture together, so I thought it was happening then. And then we took a picture together, and he left, and Darian came for a picture, and I was like, okay, like really, you need a picture right now? Like, is now the time? But then April, Adam's sister, was like, oh, Allie, look at Darian. And then when I looked over, like Adam was behind her, down on one knee. So
Aw,
yeah, it
that's
was
so cute.
it was
Mhm.
so cute. So I was surprised in that way, and like there was little surprises. Like when we got back to the cabin, there was like a whole like little party they had made, and like we went for a fancy dinner, and yeah, so like little surprises. And then my parents had a little thing here when we got back,
Aw,
on the weekend, had like a little surprise with a couple of our friends, and yeah, so
that's awesome. Well, good for you guys. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you.
thanks.
Another wedding to plan.
The wedding.
The
Yeah,
wedding times two.
I started looking today, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't the fun part for me. Like
Yeah.
getting engaged is like yay, and then it's like actually having to plan a wedding though. I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
And your dad is probably also like, okay, what the fuck?
Literally.
truly. He's like, can y'all just chill?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, love
I.
the love for you guys, but like,
In the
But like,
same year,
chill.
like yeah.
Yeah, can we not? I just saw a friend last night who was her wedding reception last night, and the first thing she said to me, I was like, "How are you?" And she's like, you're gonna be so happy when this is all over. I was just like, all right, vibes are good. She's like, this all was horrible, and she's like, it's worth it, but like, to what extent? Like, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'm just glad it's done. Like, so
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's like such a pain in the butt, but like worth it on the day. But then once you're done, it's like it's probably like such a weight off of your shoulder, like, oh,
hallelujah.
now you just get
Yeah.
to enjoy paying back the loans and paying off the vendors and whatever,
Then it'll all be fine.
and it'll all be fine. That's super exciting.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we got to have a quick little family reunion on the way since they were out my way, which is super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Did you guys watch Call Her Alex yet?
No, fuck, sorry. I did not have time. Um,
God.
yeah, as you know, we've been away every weekend for the last month, so I'll put it on my
Okay,
to-do for this weekend, okay? I'm gonna
it's fine.
literally put it in
I've
my
been
calendar.
very busy because I also got a Cricut machine the same weekend I got engaged. So like that's been taking over my life since I got home. I've been just making everything into little sticker things. But you know what? I could watch that show while I do that. So that's
Okay,
all I'm going
that's
to do.
perfect.
It's
I'm
true.
glad to hear it. I just saw it on the list again and I was like, did I move that or did you guys move that? So, anyways, we'll save that for another day.
We'll hit that next time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, next on the docket then, Darian, you've got some more wedding preparations heading our direction, is that correct?
I do. I am getting laser hair removal this week, you guys.
So,
Which has been a bucket list thing for me. I feel like I've always wanted laser hair removal because I think shaving's fucking horrible.
mm-hmm,
And to imagine spending a week, 2 weeks in Mexico and having to get it, like, you know, when you get a wax and there's ingrowns everywhere?
mm-hmm.
Or
Like,
you have
I
to
don't
shave
want
like
to do
every 3 days because it's like just yeah, it's yeah,
totally,
not it.
right? So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm going to spend a godly amount of money to have the hair on my underarms and my bikini line zapped away for hopefully life.
Okay, I'm glad you said underarms and bikini line because I was like, I've seen your leg hair and it is like see through.
Yeah. Not going to stress the legs. I do grow
Okay.
blonde body hair in a majority of my body, but
Yeah.
the two places that I don't are like the most visible on my wedding week. And so I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just, yeah,
Totally.
snap
Well,
that.
that'll be exciting. How many sessions do you have to do?
I think probably only four. We'll see. I think it'll depend on how good of a candidate I am, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling hopeful. Like my
Mm-hmm.
girl that I went to for my Botox, she was like, I told her I was coming the next month for the laser hair removal, and she's like, you're gonna be shocked at how quickly it works. Like she's like, I just feel like she's like, don't buy the 6 pack. Like you can buy a 4 pack or a 6 pack, and she's like, don't bother buying a 6 pack. If you need additional sessions, like it's just better to pay for it. But if you don't, then you don't have to waste your money.
That's nice
Amazing.
to hear. Because I'm
Yeah, I
like,
was.
I
Okay.
want to do it, but I'm scared they'll be like, oh, you're going to need 8 to 12 treatment, and they're $300 each. And I'll be like, okay, well, I can get 2 done, and then I can't afford to do the
Right.
rest.
I'm bankrupt. Yeah.
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 No. Exactly. So I'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah. I've heard that it's a spicy procedure. I hear that they like if you do are you doing like the full like undercarriage?
Yeah.
I hear
I'm
that
doing
the
a full
vehicle is pretty
Brazilian.
spicy.
Full Brazilian. Yeah.
Full Brazil.
Um,
Is it that cold one, though?
it is. It has a cold, the cold whatever end to it. Because someone else just told me this weekend that she went and she said you can go early, go 20 minutes before and get numbing cream. And she's like, but then they basically put you in a diaper. And I was like,
No way.
what? I don't want that actually. So I'll pass.
As great as the pain relief sounds, diaper,
Diaper? No.
not on board.
I think I'll just snap an elastic band on my wrist or something, you know?
Yeah, totally. Ah, it'll be
You
fine.
know,
It's like I feel like with things like that also like Allie could probably relate tattooing. it's like you need to have a mindset before you go into it that you're like, this is gonna suck. I'm signing up for something that is painful, and
Mm.
I'm just gonna suck it up, you know?
Yeah. The after is worth it. I feel like even like with Botox, like some people go and get the numbing. I'm just like stab me and let's get it done. Like,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Can I
I'm
say
actually
something else
getting.
about Botox?
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Ellie.
No, you're
Um,
good.
I've been seeing a lot of TikToks of people doing like facial balancing with Botox. And
Mm.
I like quickly need to be de-influenced on that because I'm like Botox oh no, injections like filler and stuff like that, doing the facial yeah, whatever, balancing with that. And
Yeah.
they come out like with a new friggin' face.
I know.
But I guess like the scary thing is that it could like migrate and then you could have like weird things in different places. But like those before and after pictures, I'm like, okay, if all I have to do is get like poked by a couple needles and it's like immediate results,
Mm.
how do I not want to do that?
See, yeah,
I
I need
mean,
to be de-influenced on the like jaw. What's that muscle masseter? Like
yeah.
what?
Masseter, yes.
Master
Because
Botox.
mine is like so strong, like from like grinding my teeth, and it's like but I see those TikToks of girls, and I'm like, I could do that. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
spend whatever amount of money, but yeah, I need someone to show me like the bad side of it, or else I'm gonna get it done, and I can't afford
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
No. You know what?
1000% true.
I think anything that's a Botox related experience, you're better to do that first because it's going to wear off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Filler is not going to dissolve that same way. So, yeah, speaking of someone who's gotten filler and it went poorly once, then I had to get dissolved and then I had to restart. It was a whole ordeal, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know. There's too many things out there right now. I'm spending too much money. I just got a new Pilates membership today. I'm just like, listen,
Wow.
I can't. I can't.
Can't spend any more money. You're going hard for the wedding though, you know?
Not for the wedding. Yeah.
Which I can appreciate.
Yeah. No holding
Um,
back.
did you guys see that Alex Earl had veneers that like cracked? And then
Yes.
Yeah,
she was like,
and she was
I didn't tell anybody
filing.
I had. Yes. Yeah. Like with a nail file filing it.
Nail file?
Yeah,
That was triggering. Like, that's why I watched the video because I was like, girl, what are you doing?
I gotta say, all veneers to me are too big and too white.
Yeah.
That's my take on
yeah.
veneers.
You look like
Too white.
chiclets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You look like, oh my God, the neighbor from Dennis the Menace.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
What is his name? Mr. Wilson. Hey, Mr.
Yeah.
Wilson. Right.
Yes. Oh my God.
But so I saw her like de-influencing on the veneers because she said as soon as she got them, she was like, I am, you know, not going to tell anybody I have them because I'm upset over the fact that I have them. Um, and then, but I was thinking about it because then a few more veneer things came up on my TikTok, and I was like, but if I were to like say have to get veneers or like dentures or something like that, I feel like it would be so hard to be like, you see all these levels of whiteness, and like the whitest, like white, you're like, okay, clearly that's like not real. But then, like, all of those ones below that, like, I feel like just seeing it on like an option, it's like so yellow, you
Yeah.
know? Because you don't see, like, it's crisp white on the top, and then everything else probably just looks yellow and dingy next to it. So you're like, obviously, I'm going to choose the white. Because
But
I feel like I would do the same thing and then
it's
immediately
so
regret
white.
it.
Yeah. Or, and my thought too is like, I don't know. Okay, I can't remember. Why did Alex Earl need them? Did she have a tooth related thing? Or did she just
She
choose to get them?
she chose to get them because she had like her eye teeth or something. There was something going on with them, so she asked to get two or four or something like that.
Mm.
Um, and then they said like you can't just get the two done because then it'll make it look weird. So you have to get at least the four, and then after that she ended up leaving with 10. And so she just like was like, I feel like I wasn't educated on it. They kind of like upsold her into it, and then she just felt like, okay, well if the doctor is saying I have to get 10, then I have to get 10. So
And
yeah,
then you're
and I
screwed. Like your teeth are just little nubs.
I know. I could
That's a
not
jump scare.
imagine.
That's a
Like,
jump
we
scare.
just get the EBGBs, like, with her filing her fake teeth.
I
Like,
like literally saw the clip for that and I was like, no. Like I
yeah.
can't even think about it. The sound of that would make me go into a no.
No, it's giving like nails on a chalkboard. It's also giving me digging something out of the freezer and it's scraping on the ice. Like, it's
Yep.
Oh yeah,
uh,
you do not like that. I
disgusting.
forgot about how much you don't like that.
Hey, oh my God, it's getting worse. I've been getting my ice out of, oh, whew, I've been getting my ice out of a tray. And like, I'm like sweating thinking about it.
Yeah,
It's
you do
getting
not
worse. I don't know what that is. Like, what
Yeah,
kind of therapist do I need to see?
I don't know if it's a therapist. It might be a psychologist for
Okay.
an assessment. I don't
It's
know.
a neurodivergent
Yeah, but
thing.
I'm the same with that microfiber. I can't touch a microfiber cloth or I'll kill myself. So like,
You guys, I literally have a patient ask me today, "Are you sure you're not autistic?" Those were her literal words to me.
you're like dog.
And I said, "No, I'm not sure that I'm not autistic, but thank you."
Thank you.
I don't want to find out, okay? Like,
I went this long without having a
Yeah,
diagnosis. Why do I need one now?
so
literally.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
feel
it was
like
an autistic patient. So,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of my obviously in the line of work too that I'm in, we are in like a neuro affirming space.
yeah.
It is a positive thing for you to have a diagnosis. We are like very positive about it and like especially in kids it opens up a whole whack of funding. So we're always like, wow, like what a blessing we've received a diagnosis. And they're often like, "Oh yeah, we." Like we all like and they include me and I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually not technically neurodiverse." Like
Yeah.
not with a diagnosis and they're like, "No, but you're in on this side." And I'm like, "Well, not
Well, a
officially."
little
I
bit,
guess
but like
so.
not officially.
Yeah.
Like no one's given me that in a
You're like, in the
writing.
club, we all fam.
Yeah. Yeah, frick. That's a tough one, dude.
Yeah, whatever. I kind of took it as a compliment because she was basically just saying that I was like an empath and like I was too like, because she said that she's the neurodivergent who's like opposite in the emotion realm. She like feels too much
But
emotion, whereas typically more neurodivergent people, have some issues with that emotion part of it. So anyway, she was telling me, she was like, I just think you're so empathetic. And then she's like, are you sure you're not autistic? And I was like, yeah, no,
not
I have
sure.
no idea, but thank you.
Not be certain.
So you never know, right?
You never know. Okay. So I wrote down reasons that I can't be drafted because I obviously we talked about this last or 2 weeks ago on the pod, the like why
Mhm.
we couldn't go to the but then I did see a TikTok being like legitimate reasons why I couldn't be drafted.
Yeah.
It's like it's funny that the whole world in that moment of like Trump announcing a nuclear bomb, everyone was just kind of like, it's
LOL.
happening. We're going to
Yeah.
World War III. Here's how I'm getting out.
Yes.
Um, okay, so mine is like the first one is that I burn too easily. Um,
You do,
Two,
I believe.
yeah, if I don't sleep 9 hours, I'm cranky. Three, I have a bad shoulder. Um, Four, if my blood sugar gets too low unexpectedly. So
Oh,
unexpectedly.
that should be number one,
Yeah,
honestly.
I
I've
was like,
seen you at that low blood sugar.
you'd have to leave me in the ditch, right? That's the thing. Number five is that if my foot touched something wet, I would have to die.
You
So
just off yourself
I'm
instead.
like,
You were like, oh, that's it.
I'm actually not going to continue. Yeah, so those are reasons why I can't be drafted in the war. So,
I love it. Yeah, I think that low blood sugar one is very key for you because, like, yeah, you gotta, it's just too high maintenance, right?
even the sunscreen applications, right? Like, just imagine, like, we're in the trenches and I'm like, okay, can someone get my neck? Like, I need you to get my shoulders. I don't think they were good enough there. Yeah.
I'm
Perfect.
Mine,
feeling a
I would
little
be
hot.
like, I
Yeah.
would have to get them to like cut the tags off all my freaking uniforms. I'd be like, so it's a little bit scratchy, not sure if I can do this. Oh, there might be a rock in my shoe, like stops in the middle of the war. Like,
Yeah, your sock just doesn't quite feel right, so you have to take your boot off, re-put the sock on, retie the boot, but then since you retied one boot, you have to do it to the
The
other side
other side.
too.
yep. But in the meantime, I've like set down my gun that they've given me and all my weapons and just like, yeah.
Oh my God, so funny. I
Amazing.
love that. I love that, Darian. Is there anything else that we have on the docket today?
Age and relationships.
Oh yeah, this is something that I've been meaning to talk about. I was I can't remember how this came up because like we're a little bit removed from when the thought initially entered my brain. But I was thinking about how like do you guys notice that in your relationships, whether that's like people that you've dated or just like friendships that you have, like are you typically associating with like the older sister or brother, the middle sister or brother, or the youngest?
Right. Oh my God, can you just hear my stomach growling? Okay, hope
I
that
did hear
comes
that.
picks up on the pod. Yeah. Right, we were talking about this a little bit last week when we saw each other because we were saying like when you were coming, Allie, I was saying how strange is it that we just like actually hang out with our little sister now? Like there was just a phase where that just like actually wouldn't have been, where you're like, no, mom, she's not allowed to come. And then all of a sudden it becomes this like, oh, no, you're cool now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this is an interesting dynamic because me, middle child slash eldest child, I'm kind of in both camps because my mom's side, I would say
Mm-hmm.
middle child, but
Yeah.
Tim is the baby.
Mm-hmm. I feel like in the past, majority of like the stronger relationships that I've had, like friendship wise or even relationship wise, are with the youngest sibling. And I'm like, is that because we all give crackhead energy and I love it and I'm like here for the crackheadedness of it?
It could be.
Or like, is it just like a random chance? But like, I will say that who I'm dating right now is the oldest, and he gives so much different vibes than anybody that I've ever like been like associated or like in a relationship with. And
Hmm.
it made me think I'm like, hmm, maybe this is what I was missing is that I've been associating with the crackheads too much and I
Yeah,
need like an older sibling in my life,
totally.
you know?
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that?
I
Or can you
think
say that there's a trend?
we talked about this a little bit at work last week about because our friend brought in their baby and we said to her like, "Oh, you're the oldest child. You're gonna work in healthcare," and everyone laughed and then everyone got really quiet and it was just like a group of 12 of us girls at this lunch table and we all went around the room and we're like, "Oh, we are mainly eldest children working in healthcare." And so most of my friends, especially because of my work, are oldest.
Mm.
Um, most of the friends that I have here at least are the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because you also see like TikToks or like videos of people being like, "Oh, the way that like my child, I think my dad sent me something like this and it was like the way that my children were when they were younger." And it's like the oldest is always like the more sensitive type, but then like rule follower, and then the middle child is always like, "This is fucking bullshit," like a little
Mhm.
bit more of the revolting type. And then the youngest is always just like, yeah, fuck you. Like I'm doing my own thing, you
Yeah,
know?
totally.
So
That's
I feel like it's almost like it's got to be somewhat of a universal experience that people have because how can those videos be so viral if there was no like validity to it, right?
yeah. I see it all the time with the kids that I work with. The firstborns are always very cautious and very sensitive, and they are delayed in their gross motor skills because they don't do any risky play. And then
Hmm.
their 1 or 2 year old sibling comes in and is like falling off of high surfaces in the center. They're like running and jumping into like a window, and you're like, the fuck is wrong with that one? And they're like second born, and they just don't care. They're like
Yeah,
running around with snot coming out of their face, and you're just like, yeah.
I know. It's so weird. And then it just like kind of gives me like weird vibes to think that like where you were born, what order you were born, like there's so many things that happen in our life that make us who we are, like
Hmm.
without but like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah. It's all like these circumstantial things that have added up to create this experience. Is that kind of what you mean?
yes, exactly. But yet, like, it happens in almost every family.
Yeah.
Like it's a universal experience, but like it's not like a, I don't know, to my knowledge, not like a genetic thing that's been like,
Totally.
researched or whatever that like, yeah, if you're third child, you're the crackhead.
Yeah.
Just so happens to be that way.
I think from my experience from it, it's that like all the parents that I have are just constantly like, we just simply can't care anymore.
Hmm.
We care deeply about our first, and that's why they're overly sensitive, and then our
Yep.
second, we just did not have time. So they just had to
Hmm.
become this. And with more and more kids, they just become more crackhead.
Yeah. Yeah, they just got to be like resilient little things. And then the older ones, they just got to be so much more responsible, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know we only have a couple minutes left, but this brings me to another thought. Are you guys big into horoscopes?
No.
No. That's
Only
the
when it
other
like
thing.
is convenient, you know?
If
Like
it's
I'll be like,
money.
oh, that's such an like. Are we talking about like, wait, what's horoscopes? Like Aries and stuff? Is that a horoscope?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
Yes.
be like, oh, that's such an Aries thing to do. Like I love to do that shit, but when it's actually like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I feel like we always joke about like, oh, Mercury in retrograde and blah blah blah, whatever, like Venus rising. But like I don't actually believe in all of that stuff. But then when I think about things like this whole like, you know, whatever order you were born in, and then I think about horoscopes, I'm like, maybe there is something to it, because maybe there is something like, and I'm sure we'll have some horoscope people messaging us being like, no, it is real.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's just kind of like I
Yeah.
feel like when you think, it's one of those things where you think about it too much, it makes you kind of feel a little icky,
Yeah. I was thinking the
you know?
same. I feel like if you guys don't have never looked at the app CoStar, um, my friend Bella, who hopefully she's listening to this, she'll be like ears perked right now if she hears us talking about horoscopes. Big horoscope gal. Loves CoStar and, talks about which moons are rising and which ones, yeah. Um, so, I mean, don't know. Maybe
Love
it's
that.
worth checking it out. I know for a little while she made me have it on my phone because you can pair to somebody else's so that it kind of says what they're doing and like,
Ah.
so she really likes
Wow, that
that.
might be helpful for me with the phase of life that I'm at right now.
Totally. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, should we finish with a weekly roundup?
Yes, Allie, focus. You've got this. Okay, what we're going to do is a weekly roundup and we're going to go like one, two, three, rattle them off, no context. Okay? So this week's weekly roundup is going to be song, then food or beverage, not both, and then TV show. Okay? Um, should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Maine, Noah Khan. Beers, bracket all. DCC, TV show.
Ah, DCC. Okay. Allie, go ahead.
Okay. Girl, You're Taking Home, Ella Langley, the song. Food or beverage? I don't have one. Yeah.
Water. It should be water, Allie.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
TV show, Love Island, which I know no context, but for the people who watch the show, they've been kicking people off the show because of
I'm
old
watching it. No
TikToks.
spoilies.
Oh my god, no. Okay, so yeah, people are finding old TikToks of the Islanders, and then they have kicked multiple people off the show now when they're already on the
Oh,
show.
Lord.
It's insane.
We
Anyway,
did the
Politics.
background check.
yeah.
That's on them. Okay, Jay.
Why? John Bellion and Luke Combs. Love Island / Squid Games. I just started both of them, so I had to include both of them.
Totally fair.
Creamsicle Vizzy.
Wow, nice.
Or like
I've
cream
heard
pop,
it's
orange
really
cream pop.
good.
Wait, Vizzies are vodka, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's why I don't drink them.
Yeah.
Can I do a follow up on just water really quick? Because I saw this TikTok and I sent it to you, and it was like when you don't get in your water, and so at the end of the night they're playing Ride the Bus, you know?
Oh, yes.
And every time she fails, she's like, drink, and she's just drinking out of a water bottle, and then he's like, Okay, again. She's like, red. Okay, oh, drink. Ah, like amazing way to finish your water.
That's gotta be
We're
me.
gonna keep that in our back pocket for your bachelorette.
Yeah, right. We'll just be sitting there. Oh my God, we should actually play ride the buses. We used to really remember we used to do that thing.
Yeah, we used to pretend that we would know.
We like, if I was like it was the last card or something, and I was playing, I'd be like, hold on, I need Jay over here, and she'd come over and like put her hand over top of the card like this, like, and then she sometimes it would be correct, obviously, like 1 in 4 odds, but
Yeah. It would always just be
amazing.
like clubs, and then I'd walk away. I wouldn't wait for the reveal usually, just like pretend. And then it was so much cooler when I would get it right.
Yeah,
And then I'm like walked away like I didn't care because I knew. And they were
yeah.
like, "What? That's
What? It was
crazy." And
kind of
then
like a party trick.
Darian
Yeah,
would do it for me too.
yeah, it was amazing.
I was
We're like,
just,
"Yeah, we're witches,
yep,
so
that's
We were
hilarious.
just
it's fine."
hilarious.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up a return episode.
Yeah, sorry about the delay, everybody. Life is busy, but what can you do?
Yeah. I also feel bad because the last episode I was like, "We'll see you next week." I was like, "I'm sorry that we missed the week before, but we'll be here."
We'll be
And then
here. We
turns
weren't.
out Allie got engaged and you guys were traveling the country,
Yeah,
and
there was a lot happening last week.
so we're gonna try
Holiday.
the
Everything was
best.
weird. Yeah,
Yes. Well, I didn't realize like that, a holiday was on a Tuesday.
it was some kind of
I didn't even think about it.
actually.
And if we haven't said this before, we typically record on Monday. So it really just it screwed us all sorts of ways.
Yeah, sure did.
So anyways, we may or may not see you next week, but
Yeah, really no promises, but hopefully, yeah.
yeah. We'll try our best. So anyways, love you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.